Hey everybody, this is Easy with Brothers Forge Gaming, and welcome to the Forge. Brothers Forge Gaming. Thanks for joining us today for the 2024 Easy's Room Tour. This is a video I've been meaning to bring for a little while. I don't think we actually got a room tour video off last year, so it's been a while since we've taken such a good look around, get a little up close. This place is cleaned up, ready to go, looking sharp. So I'm just really excited to bring this footage to you. So, the way we'll do this is introduction here, and then we'll kind of go around, and I want to go around and film kind of up close so you can see, what I've got going on here. I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but we're not going to go like super in depth with each section. We'll save that for individual episodes of Easy's Room. But it should be fun, and you can kind of see what I'm working with, and we'll talk about a couple of mentionable games and just things that we have around the room, or things that mean a lot to me. So let's not waste any time, and let's start looking around this place. All right, first stop on this tour is the Sega wall. Pretty much all of the Sega that we have in here is all lumped together. And man, do we have some good stuff all mixed in here. Quite a bit of Genesis, which is super nice. A lot of inbox, which is great. Just slightly over 100 inbox. Of course, our Napa Valley case holding all of our loose. We got about 120 loose Genesis games with some good stuff all over the place. Down here for you fans, we do have that Sega Masters. So not as much. You can see back in here, we got our Sega Game Gear. Lots of cool stuff in here. If you've ever seen my Sega Game Gear video, we got lots of accessories and lots of neat little trinkets. Go check that out. Of course, we got some loose Master Systems, some box Game Gear stuff, and a lot of like loose miscellaneous stuff. Who remembers all these those guys, the little handhelds from McDonald's or whatever. Next, we got some Sega Saturn. So pretty looking. We are huge fans of the jewel case. So we got a lot of inbox Saturn, a lot of inbox Sega CD, some 32X. In fact, there's only like 36 total games, and I think we've got like 20 something. So a good little mix. Albert Odyssey there, one of the noted titles for the Saturn. Of course, just a big, great list of Sega CD. We actually have over 50% of the Sega CD library. Our Miniser, which is cool if you like, for you light gun fans out there. And of course, one of the big pops. That's Popful Mail. and Golden Axe Warrior. Those are two heavy hitters. Great games. Of course, the in-box Sega CD and the really nice box Sega Master System. Of course, we got that Dreamcast kind of hidden up here where nobody ever sees. And this is another one that we have a pretty good little library for being one of the kind of more rare systems. And one more look at all that great box Genesis. We'll move over to our next little section of this wall. Dude, we got our Darth Vader. This is one of my favorite dudes. He's super cool. And that comes straight with, well, it didn't come with it, but we got our Darth Vader controller Xbox that Mr. C actually gifted me many years ago. So I like to put that in there. But you can go ahead, you can see we got our PlayStation 2. There's probably some good stuff that you're missing down there, but, you know, we're not going to, like I said, we'll have different videos that get more in depth. But we got some great PS2 titles. I think we got about, 250 titles between loose and on this shelf, with some great RPGs and stuff up here. Which is actually not a huge percent of the library, because the library for PlayStation games is huge. All of them. So, the percentages are low, but we've got some quality stuff. Of course, a lot of regular PS1 jewel case there. Our PlayStation 5 Xbox boxes up there. Some great Xbox stuff. This is kind of some newer stuff that hangs out here. Not as retro, but it makes the shelf. It's pretty cool. Of course, the Street Fighter controller. That one's kind of fun. It's a little beat up, but it was a really good price. I couldn't pass it up. Some PlayStation Overflow. We got all our long boxes. And then, of course, down to our original Xbox. Which some good stuff. We got the Guy game, Curse, some of those great, actually a couple heavy hitters for original Xbox. And then you get down to kind of some overflow. We got our newer stuff in here. Here's a section I'm actually glad to show off, because this never gets an up close. So this is like a little toy overflow thing. You can see this behind me in a lot of videos. And there's some cool stuff in here. You can't really, this isn't doing it justice either, but some different boxed figures. Lots of cool stuff. This will bring you back, dude. We got that giant Darkwing Duck. That's real great. Looks like we're getting a lot of glare, but some really neat stuff in here. A whole bunch of Nintendo Powers. We actually have another section too, full of magazines. Nintendo Powers, strategy guides. So, we know how to play around here. We got the information. That's my very first CRT, so that was kind of cool just to keep in the room. One of my favorite of all here, the TurboGrafx, boxed TurboGrafx. We got the stick, and we got a nice little mix of games. Once again, not a huge library, but it's overall not a system that has like a ton of games. So I'm happy with definitely what we got. So if you know anything about us here, we are from the home of Working Designs, which is a company that brought some really great heavy hitting games, including Popful Mail, Albert Odyssey, some of the ones we already saw. But here's its own little section. We've got some great pieces in here. Some promotional stuff that's really cool. The playing cards. We've got, the puppet. This is all sealed stuff straight from the Working Designs factory. So that's really cool to have some of that old stuff. Of course, you'll see some of the miniatures that are spread around, big into Warhammer. We'll talk a little bit about that, but we got some cool guys. They make it fun, I feel. So here's some smaller sections. Inside that case is my PSP, which is actually pretty nice. I got a lot of the little attachments, hookups. We got our boxed PS3. It was actually my dad's. He was a big gamer for a while, and ended up, giving me all his stuff once it got to where he wasn't using it. A couple of the notable games. A really cool EA Sports PlayStation controller that we got a few years back from a buddy. And some cool titles, some fluff titles. A DJ Hero if you're into that. And of course up here, another thing that doesn't get mentioned, it doesn't really have a nice clean spot is why. And that is the Commodore with lots of, extras, bells and whistles. I really need to get this thing out and played with. And actually hiding back there is a really cool Guitar Hero PlayStation 2 thing that we probably can't see. But when we do our PlayStation 2 video, we'll get more in depth. Then, of course, moving along, one of the coolest pieces. This was a donation, I guess, from a buddy. He wanted us to have it. He had the Steel Battalion controller with game. There's some paperwork and stuff for it. He had it since we were little or younger, I guess, and ended up gifting it to me. And that was just really amazing. One of the best pieces in my collection. And it sits, probably shouldn't be, but it sits right upon our boxed Odyssey 2. We have also the voice Odyssey speech module that plugs right in there. So our Odyssey games don't get displayed, but I will show you where they're at. But, we have definitely a little handful of them, and it's pretty cool. I've always wanted to kind of get into that. So we move down, keeping with the theme, dude. We got the boxed in television, a few in television games, and just some random swag to make it look. We got our AVGN signed Home Alone, holy cow, Kevin McAllister. I just loved his Macaulay Culkin video and just had too much fun with it. We got our Atari 7800, which is pretty awesome. We got some loose games. We got some box games, a couple sealed ones. I think there's 2 of them in there. And then the big hitter here is this is a game that was released later on, but that's Ricky and Vicky. And this is actually the most expensive game on the 7800. It's gained a lot of value over the years, and it's actually one of the more pricey things in my whole entire collection. Pretty awesome, of course. Yeah, you guys, Cartman. Now, Kenny. We'll keep rolling, dude. That's right. More boxed systems. The Atari 2600 for you fans. We have a couple of sealed and boxed games. Some of them sit in the window display if you saw that walking into the room. Some random stuff that we don't even have the systems for. We got some Jaguar. We got some 5200 stuff. And then, of course, we got a nice little mix of double layered. They don't necessarily fit, but we got some good Atari 2600 stuff there. Down here, I'm glad that we've changed this recently. This is just some odds and ends, dude. Captain Power, if you don't remember that toy line / anime / interactive game, it is pretty cool. It's like a VHS, game that you can play. You can also play at the toy line. It's pretty cool. I'm definitely going to do some videos and get that out someday. And of course, we got Lara Croft and our Action Max hiding back there with a couple of our cool board games. We've got quite a few board games. Those won't make the video today, but we do have a crap ton of Guitar Hero guitars and this sweet case that has pretty much everything you could ask for. Huge fan of the Ultimate Warrior, and this was great. A big full-size standee that L-Dog Ray got us a couple of years ago. Really cool. Hidden is my family arcade Gravatar. This thing is awesome, man. This has been in the family since 1985. It's gone to me. It actually plays great, but plays blind. So we're going to have that fixed and ready to go sooner than later. Right now, it's basically a hold for some awesome old and new plushies. Some new stuff. Most of it is actually pretty cool, old, original 80s stuff. My Pound Puppy. I think it still has the tag that says that it belongs to me. So, of course, behind that leads into, for you toy fans, we've got one heck of a little toy. I mean, that's nostalgia right there. Sewer Sharks, Muscle Men, we've got Beast Warriors, starting lineup, Boglins, TMNT. It's all there. It's great. And then for you wrestling fans, if you like the stop motion, here is the home base. We got figures. We got the Hulk Hogan original. This is an awesome cutout, promotional VHS cutout from the 80s, 90s. Really cool. Got that at a show. Of course, just more strategy tips. We got our cool CRT with the VHS built-in combo so that we can, play and do what we need to do. Play movies while we're gaming, all that good stuff. Some collectible cups. This is an awesome little section here. We got our Steve Austin. Just some cool, unique items. The race cars, the old cups. Some good stuff. We got a little bit of overflow down here. This old original Coliseum video tin with some tablecloths. Of course, the Winged Eagle belt. We got little John and Little Rock down here with just a backup overflow of a bunch of really cool controllers, flight sticks, racing wheels, all that stuff. And of course, where the magic happens, we've got the full-size scale ring, and that leads us into our Wii, which is a pretty small collection, our GameCube, which is actually not huge, but has some really, really nice games. We've got this, this is actually really cool. This is a sealed Zelda Four Swords Adventure, Game Boy link-up game, so that's actually really cool. A couple other noticeable things. Into our 360 stuff here with the Halo Special Edition and a couple other cool collector boxes. And another small toy shelf that, we just keep them coming. Toys galore, right? All right, quick jump back to the other side because I do like to save the best for last. So I wanted to show off. Of course, you've seen, if you know EZ, we are no stranger to horror films, Halloween, and I like to dress up. We got lots of masks. We got the bald cap. We got the window that I made, which was cool because we filled it with just some unique box things, sealed games, autographed pictures, autographed memorabilia and stuff like that. And it also, this is the door. So I did a little build where I added this DVD VHS shelf so we could kind of have, like our game related stuff, anime, cartoons from our childhood. We got lots of wrestling, DVDs and VHS, but the door still functions and opens and all that stuff. So it's actually really cool. Of course, we're moving over here. We got our N64 section. So this is pretty cool. We got our ice blue. That's the only of the colored systems we have, but it's pretty nice. Here's a custom little shelf that I built. Holds 20 games. I built that about 8 years ago when it was more relevant. Here's some overflow. You can see my pad and paper there. And then I also built this wall so it would kind of hold the games in the back and all that. And then of course we got some box stuff hiding back there. Here's some other cool stuff. We got some of VHS, cool Donkey Kong stuff. We've got some more box games, but we do have our promotional VHS tapes back here, which are actually really cool. I never really get them out, but they're the things you used to pick up from the game stores and stuff before the games actually came out. Down here we've got an overflow once again, just some systems. Actually, this is our Game Boy Advance DS section. It's all kind of hidden back there in a drawer. You can see a few of the things out here, but you'll have to get an actual collection. When I do an Easy's room, we'll do Game Boy and actually see there. I do have some decent games, but nothing too fancy. Hoo boy, for you SNES fans, this has become a great wall up here. We've got lots of cool stuff. We've got plushies. We've got games. some cool boxed games, you know, not too many boxed, but we got some. Some of the heavies, and just a lot of good stuff here. Once again, I think we have a couple hundred, a little bit over 200, about 220 or so. Some more cool autographs and just stuff that we've put together over the years. Always like to see that, but it's pretty cool. Now we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, some more of the cool stuff. Here's this is always fun. This is a little section here. I fill it with this thing, but it's almost like a Zelda secret. And behind that, we have some of our stream equipment. Once again, we have a whole lot of, here's where I keep my Odyssey games, just stuff that hasn't made the shelves. A whole lot of comics and different cool things in here. Some more strategy guides and stuff like that. But we'll go ahead and we'll just cover that baby back up there. Then here's a little, we used to run tournaments with like Halo and stuff. So of course we have a couple of Xboxes, some 360s, the PlayStation 3. And here it is. Here is the actual TV that EZ is always streaming on. So we got some cool stuff here. This is from Aubrey. This awesome lamp. We got my Joust globe. That's from Mr. C. Of course, the old Dancing Coke can from back in the day. And then one of the glory sections, and that is the in-box NES, which is cool. We have some really good titles. Once again, some of these hand-painted. I painted all of these Warhammer figures, you know, something I was really big into. So some really cool stuff. We got some really heavy games in here, including Swordmaster. We got Snow Brothers there. Who remembers handhelds? They've even got some working handheld, Tiger handhelds. And then here's one of our glory pieces here. That's the World Class Service joystick test cartridge. Probably the most valuable single item in the collection. I'd have to double check, but I'm going to go ahead and say that it is. Here's a cool shelf that was built a few years ago, or well, probably not even that long. And it's been changed a few different times. Now it's got a bunch of cool, obviously Simpsons, some other stuff. I can't even remember what's actually behind there. Here's here's some promotional, you know, Mario stuff. We got the Game & Watch, but there's one of the good things. The Nintendo 3DS XL Pokemon XY. We got our Switch thing there. And here's some actual pretty cool, the Super Mario 2 thermos. An old original Batman from like the 70s, a Pac-Man cup from the early 80s. So some really cool things there that we just really do enjoy. But now we're going to get into the last few of our sections here. Here was the old battle station. This is where we used to have, you know, the original consoles that I had, and this is where they were all hooked up. They were on switches. It was easy. They played right to the TV. The TV sat right on top here. You know, and it was really good setup, but then some of the switches went out and we just had to change things. Of course, a action set boxed NES. We've got the Game Boy booster, some old 90s, 80s tablecloth, a handful of really cool controllers, including the Arkanoid little joystick there. That's actually a lot of fun. I really enjoy that one. Oh, we did forget, actually. We'll go back up here. Up in this hidden area there, we got the Power Glove. We've got the I can't think of it, the game pad. The Power Pad, there we go. Another box system and a couple other box controllers. Some old toys and stuff like that. Had to show off that Power Glove, dude. The Power Glove is always legit. And here's our little, you can see we're back to our GameCube section there. But we do have some. I had to take out a bunch of the light guns, so kind of sad that the light gun section is a little light. But we filled it up with, you know, kind of like a store section with new toys. We've got old wrestling toys and stuff like that. So, you know, we got a little something for everybody. Different collectibles. You know, a lot of that GameStop stuff, and then once again back to some old school stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and finish this off with of course the introduction to the NES wall. You can see the bottom there, some cool stuff. Another gift from Mr. C, the Full Metal Alchemist pocket watch there. Recently, a cool bid, we got the Toxic Crusader game that's hiding back there, but we got some of the figures, some 8-Bit Christmas, some more boxed NES stuff. Of course, DuckTales 2, and a whole lot of Disney style. I think there's Darkwing Duck and some other games over there. But you can see now. That's right, baby. How far do I have to go back? The NES wall. So we got a lot of cool stuff here. We've just recently hit the 600 mark, which is like 80 something, 88% of the games for the NES. So that's just super cool. Me and Mr. C together, we were actually pretty close. Some little shout out, dude. Video game dust sleeves with some cool creations there. So if you don't know, go hit him up. That guy's got the work. But you can see just a lot of great games mixed out. Of course, the ones you probably can't see as much are all in these hard cases because you know what, they are valuable. And our 8-bit Nightmare on Elm Street GameStop NECA piece there, that one's actually pretty cool too. Some of the unlicensed stuff, I mean, actually we have more than not, to be honest. I can't remember exactly how many they are, but we have a good little deal there. And that basically wraps it up there. Nothing like Super Mario Bros. 3, right? All right, I know, don't get sad, but that brings us to the end of our video today. I really hope you enjoyed getting a chance to look in a little bit deeper to Yeezy's room. Like I said, I've just been meaning to get this cleaned up and to like where you can show it off, and it's a lot of stuff. It gets overwhelming, so it's hard, you know, to kind of really do it justice unless you sit there and really break down each thing. And that's what our other projects are for. Like Easy's room, we'll be taking each section or each individual collection and going in deep, you know, talking about the different games, recommendations, stuff like that. But I thought that this would just give you a nice look and give you a general idea of what we're working with here at Brothers Forge Gaming. You know, when we, you know, and we're not like, when we say all original hardware and all that stuff, you know, you can see why, because we have so much of it. So we just love it. We love to have it all on hand. And of course, we're playing all the original stuff. We're playing these actual games that you just saw are what you see me streaming. And I just love that. So, yeah, I'm glad you could be here. What was your favorite thing? What was something that you saw maybe I didn't talk about? Leave it in the comments, you know, and we'll hit you back. I can, you know, answer any questions you have. But, you know, like I said, we'll do some more in-depth videos of each piece so you can really get the true effect of, you know, what I've got collecting. So I hope you enjoyed yourself today. As always, guys, take it easy, and we'll see you next time at Brothers Forge Gaming. Brothers Forge Gaming.